Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to teach you on how to create or add load cases and load case combinations. Now by default, when you start creating your model, you will have two load cases, and these are the did load and the live load. In did load, automatically this will include the self weight, whereas in live load doesn't, as you can see here. Now if you want to add more load cases, you click this button here and you will know, because there is a hint which says declare load cases. So you click this button and then this comes up. Okay, and then as you can see, there are two load cases by default: did load and live load. Now if you add another load case, just click this button, add load cases, and this comes up. Okay, and you have the option of declaring the new load case as a primary load case or a combination. Now say for example you will add a third load case, which is win load. Say I will call it as win load, and then declare as primary load case, and then click button add. And before that, if you want to add the self weight, then check this button, this checkbox, and if not, then uncheck. Okay, and then click add button. Now you will see that there is now a third load case, which is win load. Now I will add another load case, which is a combination load. Now when I choose the combination, you will see that there are two primary load cases here: did load, live load, and win load. Now first I will declare the load case title. Say I will call it as 1.2 plus did load plus 1.5 live load. Note that this load case title doesn't have to reflect what is the load combination factors. You can just declare any name. Say for example I will say that I'll keep this as it is. Now if the load factor for did load is 1.2, as I mentioned here, I had to declare the load factor here 1.2 for did load. For live load it's 1.5, and for win load and it's 0, so I don't have to declare here. And then you will notice that the include self weight checkbox is disabled, and this is because you cannot declare the self weight in a combination load. It should be in a primary load, so that's why you cannot declare that the self weight is included. Then once it's done, add button, and you will see that you have now a new load case number 4, and the load case combination factors are also shown here. It says here that for load case number 4, it's a combination of primary load case 1 and 2, which is the did load and live load. And for load case number 1, the load factor is 1.2 and 1.5 for load case number 2. Now I will add another load case. Say for example 0.9 did load plus win load, and just an example. Okay, so this time the load factor for did load is 0.9 and nothing for live load, and 1.0 for the win load. And then click add button, and you will see that you have now load keys number 5, and the load case factors are also reflected in table. You can see load case number 5 is actually a combination of primary load cases number 1 and 3, and these are the corresponding load factors. And that's it for this. Click exit button when done. Now if you click this drop down box here, drop down menu, you will see that I have now 5 load cases: did load, live load, win load, and load case combinations 4 and 5. Now if you want to declare the load, or you want to apply the loads, if it is a did load, then do it in this current load case. What this drop down menu means is that it shows your current load case, so you can go to live load, and then whatever you applied when the current load case is live load will also be applied to load case live load. So say for example, I will add a did load to this beam. So I have to make sure that the current load case is did load, and then before applying the did load here. Okay, I will click this element, or I can click multiple elements and then click this button to apply element load, and then say for example if it is a downward distributed load, say I will assume it's 20 kilonewton per meter, and then the same thing here, apply, exit. Now I have the load case or the loads in 2 elements. Now if I'm going to apply a live load, so I have to change the current load keys to live load, and there's nothing here because I'm currently in live load. So I will apply again element loads to these 2 beams. Click this button, apply element load, or I can just right mouse click and then apply element distributed load, and then declare the loads here. Say for example minus 50 kilonewton per meter downward, apply, exit. Now I have the live loads here, and I will change the load scale because it seems it's too large. Then I'll click this button and then see to it that it is for the element load, and then hover the mouse on this negative button without clicking, and the load scale will slowly change as you can see what is currently happening, and then stop. Now I have changed the load scale, exit. Now if I go to did load, you'll see that there is a different load magnitude for these 2 elements. Now if I go to win load, there is nothing. If I go to the combination, there is nothing obviously, because I cannot apply the loads in the combination load case. Now you will also notice that the buttons here are disabled. That's because you are not allowed to create elements while you are in a combination load case. Okay, so I will, and by the way, you will also know that you are currently in a combination load case because of this prompt here. If I go to did load, you will see that it's called primary load case, and this is your guide. Okay, now if I run the analysis, I have to click this button for linear analysis, and then run, and then you'll see that the deflections here. You can see the deflections, and if you go to the three-dimensional element, then click this button and you will see that the deflections in these two elements are shown here. If you go to lab load, it's the same thing, and you can also go to the combination load case as shown here. Okay, and I think these are all for this tutorial, and have fun.